Hey YouTube, what's up? Yugiohmarketman here. Coming to you with a great deck to try out. I just thought of this watching a few videos on YouTube, which had nothing to do with this actual kind of deck, but just I just started roaming through my head and stuff, so I got the idea. What about this? As you guys can see on the freaking up here, the name of the video. It's an alchemy deck for March 2011, and I really do like this deck. It's very fun to play. It's I personally would put it at it as a tier. I can't even talk today. A tier 2 deck, which is basically where Black Wings is right now. So I kind of like this deck. It's I originally wanted to do Chaos Alchemy, or Chaotic Alchemy, but I didn't have enough light monsters. Me personally, I don't have enough light to put into a deck that would make sense. Like, I have a random Jane, but why the fuck would I put a Jane into an alchemy deck? Makes no sense. So, here's the deck. It's, I believe, 42 cards, which in alchemy, you, you actually playing an alchemy deck, you are pretty much allowed to run about 43 cards max, because it's supposed to thin itself pretty good, and it's supposed to have a little more options than normal, which 42 I think is a really good number for alchemy. Even though it's a little more than people would want to run, I just feel that it's a lot better than running 41 or 40. So here we go. Gores needs some protection. 2 Cyber Dragons. I originally tried 3 and I didn't really like it too much, so I put in a Mobius, which actually I would put Mobius as the number 2 Monarch on the list, just because it gets rid of the back rows, and this format's going to be a real heavy back row format. So with Mobius being in there, you're just going to go herp and get rid of the 2 back rows. Even if they have 3 and then they bottomless it, you can blow up the other 2, which I find is really awesome. So it's way too good. 1 Gale, because I find it's pretty much staple for about 70 to 80% of decks out there. Then here's the alchemy cards, which have nothing to do with alchemy, but they are. 2 green gadget, 2 red, and 2 yellow, of course, because they're just going to 1-for-1 themselves onto the field, and it is just really good. And I have to check my phone. Whatever, I don't give a shit about you. Okay, then with the gadgets, you got Card Trooper. I might run 2, I haven't decided yet, but I find that he's a really versatile card in here, and he tends to hit monsters because this is a 22 monster deck. It has 22 in here, which is a lot more than a lot of people would think to use in an alchemy, but it's not that bad. But I'm thinking about maybe running a second Card Trooper. I haven't figured it out yet. I first have to get a second Card Trooper. Morphing Jar. Alchemy, 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 jar. Have to have it. If you don't, you're a fucking noob. Then, 2 King Tiger Wanghus, which I'm not really a huge fan of him, but he is very good comboed with Burden of the Mighty. Especially if you have 2 burdens on the field, they can't do shit except for like 5-God Dragon or 5-Headed Dragon, whatever the hell his name is, or Blue Eyes Ultimate. But even then, those things might not even work too much, because basically with 2 burdens on the field, if they summon JD is only going to be 1400, and King Tiger is going to kill 1400 or less monsters. So boom, 1400 JD is gone. As an example. And then one of my top 3 cards possibly in the game, Jujutsu Master. People don't expect it too much, and it's got a pretty beastie D, and it's got the just fucking awesome ability to bounce a card back to the deck. So if they go Dark Armed and they don't destroy the Juji, but they destroy your back rows, that's fine. They attack Juji. Boom, Dad's sent back to the deck. They attack with Stardust. Stardust not destroyed, can't activate its effect. It goes back to the extra deck. It's like seriously, Juji is probably one of the best monsters, to be honest. And then another form of alchemy in here is the giant rats. Um, this I believe is German, which is pretty sweet. Picked it up from Shouldn't Be Banned 50, and I'm pretty cool, or not I'm pretty cool, but it's pretty cool that I was able to find a good use for it, which it actually does really work in this deck. It's so good to go, German giant rat, what are you gonna do? And they're kind of like all, it psychs some players out, and some people are just like whatever. So, and then Sangan, the last monster, alchemy. You have to have recruiters and searchers and all that stuff. And Sangan is the best recruiter slash searcher in the game because in this deck there's only 6 cards that it cannot search beside itself. So, and there's 22. That means there's 16 monsters that I can potentially get to my hand with Sangan. It's just, it's way too good, especially in alchemy. The spells. For total spells and traps, you only have 20, which is okay. But you've got 3 Burden of the Mighty. Perfect card for alchemy. It's basically a must-have in alchemy decks. Even if you're running a childish alchemy deck with like alchemy cycle and shit like that, you're still gonna run Burden of the Mighty because it's just awesome. Dark Hole, it's blue. Reborn, Trunade, all staples. 2 MST, staple. Book, staple. Mind Control, because this deck has 1 tuner, and that's Gale, and most of the time you're going to be attacking with it, not synchroing with it. So you're going to want to take their tuner and sync with it yourself, which is where Smashing comes in as well, because you can get rid of their big monster, then Mind Control, and take their little monster, their tuner, and synchro with it, and then attack for pretty big amounts of damage. And then my personal tech for this deck is Lightning Vortex. People don't really like it. I've always liked Vortex, but I haven't really played it in any decks because there hasn't been space, and I haven't needed to play it. But I feel with Sam's being big and Car Curries, which I play, are going to be swarming the field like a bitch, you're going to want to use Vortex because it doesn't target. And on top of that, I don't really know the ruling. I'm pretty sure that Stardust can negate it, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm like 99.9, but I want that little 0.1% back. I'm not sure, but it doesn't target, just like Dark Hole doesn't target. This thing, you can dump a useless card in your hand. Like if Mind Control is useless, dump it, Vortex, get rid of all their monsters, and it doesn't touch yours whatsoever. It's Raigeki with ditching a card. That's all it is. And it's pretty damn good. Especially in alchemy, you need to keep the hand low. Keep it low. Traps. You have 8 traps. Took me a while to count that. 3 Reckless Greed for draw power, and you can just play 2 of them during the end phase, draw 4, and sit on those 4 cards until the 4 turns have gone, because more than likely they're going to be monsters. Oh man, my throat hurts. 2 Bottomless, staple, and you basically have to have them in alchemy decks because really huge monsters like 5-headed dragon, you have to have Bottomless to get rid of. Otherwise, you're going to run rampant all over your cards. Dark Bribe, ×1. I'm contemplating on taking out Torrential for a second Dark Bribe, but I'm not sure. If you guys are wondering, that's not hollow, although it does look hollow without the glare. I'll take it out the sleeve. It does look hollow, but it's not. It's actually colored because you can see it's very terrible in the name, but it looks pretty sexy. I was bored. Shut up. And then my proxy for Solemn because I only have 2 Solemns and they're floating around on my other 2 decks. So I'll just take out one. I'll just take my gold and flop it between this and whatever else deck I'm playing. And that's pretty much it. I guess the extra deck is pretty generic. I haven't really decided yet what the extra deck is going to be, but I'm going to do it right now if I can in time. Where the hell are the monsters? Oh, okay, Mistworm, 2 Stardust, 1 Red Dragon, 2 Colossal, Scrap Archfiend, Ancient Fairy and Black Rose, don't play Goyo anymore, Cataster, Android, and how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I got 4 spots for 6s. Brio, Gaianite, Iron Chain, and Chimera Tech. That's a really quick run through of it, but 1, where's the 5s? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Good. 15 in the extra deck, obviously. And I haven't figured out the side deck, but I'll make an update video with that. So comment, subscribe to me, and subscribe to Shouldn't Be Banned 50. I'll have the link to his channel in the description. Same with Santa Claus 262. His link will be down there. And I will have Yugi Soup. Their channel will be in the description below for a link to subscribe. And if you guys know my past videos and you guys watch, all my subscribers, the 12 of you I think there are, 11, 12, you guys know the contest thing, so go ahead and watch previous videos and figure that out. And I guess peace out, YouTube.